Out of genuine love and concern for the future of our country, Nigeria, especially the issue of youth and election violence prior to the forthcoming 2015 elections, the Nigerian Young Professionals Forum brought together young political leaders in Nigeria at a roundtable meeting which held on Wednesday, the 14th of January 2015 at the Transcorp Hilton in Abuja, Nigeria. The energy and passion of young Nigerians that was brought to the table evidently proved how much they are seeking and willing to come together and unite to help make Nigeria a better nation, regardless of their political affiliations, ethnicity, or religion.
Can we even confidently go to the polls and choose our leaders and we're sure that this leader we chose is the person we chose? We're not confident. Everything you see today is sheer hard work of young people in Nigeria.
Those that are bringing glory and projecting the image of this country are young people. Look at our sports, very young people. Nollywood industry, very young people.
The youth represent vision, the mature population represent memory. Vision needs memory to craft itself in a way that makes sense. We will not be able to get 30 million PVCs into the hands of 30 million people in 30 days. It will not happen. In 54 years, we've been ruled by 29 years of soldiers. Our political institutions have stultified. Our political culture has stultified. The culture of dialogue and deliberation was messed up by soldiers. Obey the last order. Obey without complaint. Obey without thinking. Those are the Nigerian shibboleths that are thrown out at you. And so, the confidence that young people should have to ask questions, insist on answers, is still work in progress.
If today, the APC government happened to form a government and what we expect from General Muhammad Buhari is not going well, for God's sake, I'll be on the streets. I'll condemn his government. I'm not because I'm an APC. I'm a young Nigerian because I want the best for my country.
Clearly articulated by young Nigerians at the roundtable meeting was the importance of young people's participatory role in government, politics, and other socio-economic platforms.
This is my generation. If I betray my generation, I have betrayed myself. I have betrayed my children. For the Nigerian people, for the future I want my children to have, I have lived abroad. I know what it takes. I know what everybody stands the opportunity to succeed. And if these people don't give us these opportunities, we have to ask them. The Jonathan campaign, the Buhari campaign, all the colors you see around it, where do you think these ideas are coming from? Young people. If not, they'll be dead in water. The brightest ideas you've seen in government, in anywhere in the world, are generated by young people.
We realize the need to come together as a group to mobilize young women, especially for my party, because we know that a major challenge that young women have with joining politics is the perception. And my group is working on that. We're also aware of the PDP women. So if you remember of the PDP, please, thank you very much for making that effort. Young women need to be involved. And we do appreciate that, even though we're in different parties, but our aims and objectives are the same. Young people need to be involved in politics because we cannot afford to continue to shy away from being involved in a process that has so much impact on our lives. Whether or not we like it, these policies determine where our futures are headed. So many years ago we weren't born, but the decisions that our parents and our fathers made when they were in government are affecting us today. We are paying for mistakes that they made while leading us. We are paying for their actions and inactions. And we cannot continue to sit idly and fold our arms and watch while people rule this country in a way that is not beneficial to us and to our unborn children.
In our fathers' days, by the time they graduate, there's a job waiting. How many of us have heard that kind of story? There's a job waiting with a car and even housing and a Volkswagen or panel van. In our time, it doesn't exist anymore. Today, you have 35-year-olds who are still living in their father's houses. They can't afford to get married. Many people who got married, it was their parents that sponsored it. Now, young people need to wake up. Whether you're a politician or a businessman, build capacity, build competence, and build your character so that we can begin to be the change that we want to see. I want to be able to be proud of the green, white, green flag everywhere I go. We are Nigerians first. We can't be bringing out our green passport. I don't want to be American or British. I want to be Nigerian and always Nigerian, whether the opportunity is there or not.
10 of us in my family registered in the same polling unit and none of us has a voter's card. I have a driver's license, I have a national ID card slip, I have an international passport. But because in Nigeria we have different databases for everything, INEC is telling me I cannot use my international passport, which means the voter's card is a superior document to my international passport, which is my identity. So I feel strongly that at this point in time, we should go out and demand that as long as I can prove I'm a Nigerian and I'm above 18 years old, then I should be able to identify myself and vote wherever I reside in Nigeria, for God's sake. Thank you so much.
You're like me, after all that has been said, your blood is boiling. My question is, where do we go from here? What next?
The Nigerian Young Professionals Forum, the convener of the roundtable meeting of the young political leaders in Nigeria, led by Mr. Moses Siloko Siasia, is strongly advocating for a violence-free elections. They also made the call to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to ensure that the young people of Nigeria are not disenfranchised due to irregularities accompanying the acquisition of the permanent voter cards.
We also want to urge INEC, the Independent Electoral Commission, to also look into the issues that we're having in terms of our electoral process, where young people who are schooling abroad, young people that were not around during the voters registration exercise, they don't have access to PVC. How can these young people vote? And also those who are turning 18, how do we actually create room for them to also express or carry out, this their God's-given constitutional franchise? So the Independent Electoral Commission is saddled with the responsibility to critically look at these issues and also strategically come up with resolutions. We note this time so that we can give opportunity to this huge number of Nigerians that wants to vote and also to safeguard their future. We have seen and we have heard a lot of information about post-election violence. We want to urge young people that this is time for you not to take the laws into your hands, for you to allow the electoral process to take its full course, and for you to allow justice and equity to be realized in this electoral process.
What I have to say about young people being treated in this country, I think they have not had a fair deal, both by the ruling party and unfortunately even by my own party in many respects. But I think it's a work in progress. I think it's not about where we are, it's about where we are going. And as far as I'm concerned, it is looking very bright.
Here are the views of a cross-section of some young people in Nigeria on the outcome of the Young Nigerian Political Leaders Roundtable meeting and their hopes for a better Nigeria.
I must say that the recent political awareness that has been existing amongst the youth is very impressive. More youths are involved in politics more than what we used to have. You can see them speaking on social media. You can see them organizing campaigns, trying to canvass for an inclusive involvement in government. So it's really impressive.
Do not allow your conscience to be bought by anybody. Do not accept any money. Do not accept any form of bribe, any promises. Make sure you vote and you keep your environment as peaceful as possible.
My hopes for 2015, February 14, is a new Nigeria, in the sense that we want to see a free and fair election won. We want to see a post-free violence election.
There is a breed of Nigerians that are determined to see that there is a different election this year.
No more standing on the sidelines. All they are asking for is a level playing field to bring the much needed positive change to this nation.